Alright, so it seems like the Eagles aren't done making moves in free agency yet, as a new report revealed that the Birds are on the hunt for a new linebacker, so who are their potential options? Plus, the Eagles also went out and signed one of their longest tenured players to a historic extension, while CJ Gardner-Johnson apologized to Eagles fans and called out ESPN after his reunion with Philly, as it seems like this move is going to end up being perfect for the Birds and their defense. Meanwhile, Jason Kelce revealed that he wishes he could come back and play after the Eagles signed Saquon Barkley, and Howie Roseman seems to have plenty more left up his sleeve as free agency continues to roll on. So we're going to talk about all that and more news in this video today, and we won't waste any time. Let's get straight into it. So let's start this off by going over a couple more moves that the Eagles made in free agency on Tuesday, as the Birds brought back a couple specialists in punter Braden Mann, who they signed to a 2-year extension, and they also brought back long snapper Rick Lovato on a 1-year deal. So glad to have both of these guys back. Mann was really pretty good in his first year as the Eagles punter, and Lovato has been solid the whole time that he's been with the Eagles, and he also is just one of now only 4 remaining members from the Eagles Super Bowl winning team back in 2017, along with Brandon Graham, Lane Johnson, and Jake Elliott. And speaking of Jake Elliott, the Eagles just made sure that he's going to stick around for a long time too, with Adam Schefter reporting, quote, Eagles and Jake Elliott reached agreement on a 4-year, $24 million contract extension. The $6 million average per year ties Elliott with Justin Tucker for the highest paid kicker in NFL history per source. Elliott is coming off a season in which he connected on a career best 93.8% of his field goals. And honestly, this is so well deserved. I mean, Jake has arguably overtaken Justin Tucker as the best kicker in the NFL at this current moment, and he's coming off a career season in which he did some crazy stuff. I mean, the most impressive of those things being his game-tying 59-yard field goal in the pouring rain to send the Bills game to overtime, in which the Eagles, of course, obviously won. And Jake really has just been special ever since he got here, and I truly do believe that he's going to end up going down as one of the best kickers to ever play the game. So congrats to Jake the Make, and drop a like down below for the extension. But now going back to one of the other remaining members of the Eagles Super Bowl winning team, Brandon Graham obviously also just got a new contract as well, being a 1-year deal for his final season, which he was finally able to officially sign on Tuesday with his family right there beside him. And Graham had a message for the fans ahead of his farewell tour.
Hey, what's up, Eagles fans? We back, baby. 15. Got the crew with me. Just wanted to say, we thank you just for accepting our family over the years, and I'm hoping that we can end it on a great note by getting that ring, baby. But we know it's gonna take that work. But I ain't never ran from no work. So just know that you gonna get everything from me, and we gonna do everything to make sure this city is on fire this next time around this time next year. But I hope y'all have a great one. Go Birds, baby! E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Let's hope what BG said comes true, and we send him off the right way with another Super Bowl. And we know that Howie Roseman and the front office have certainly done everything that they can so far during free agency to get the Eagles back to that point. Obviously on Tuesday, they went out and brought back a star safety that was on their team for their last Super Bowl run in CJ Gardner-Johnson. More details did come out saying that it was actually a 3-year, $27 million contract that could go up to $33 million in incentives, and it also includes $10 million in guarantees. So I really couldn't be happier. Again, CJ is just what this defense needs, both as a player with his physicality and ability to be at the right place at the right time and take the football away, and also just the mentality and the energy that he brings. Like, he just brings an added toughness to the defense that they were really, really missing last year. So again, I think that this reunion is going to end up being perfect, and Emmanuel Acho seems to agree with that, as he explained why this move was so crucial for the Birds.
Number one, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson had more interceptions in the 2022 season through Week 10 than the whole Eagles team had through the 2023 season through Week 10. That's the first thing. The second thing, and this is the most important thing that nobody's saying, the Eagles need an enforcer on defense. On defense, you need somebody who the offense got to be mindful of. If a receiver going across the middle, you got to be mindful they might get smacked. If a running back breaks through, you got to be mindful they might get smacked. Eagles didn't have an enforcer last year, bro. Other teams got enforcers. Roquan Smith, enforcer for the Ravens. Greenlaw, enforcer for the Niners. Top defenses got enforcers. A dude that will inflict fear. Eagles didn't have an enforcer. So now you got a ball hawk and you got an enforcer. And lastly, think about Chauncey Gardner's versatility. He can play nickel or he can play safety.
I really couldn't agree more. I mean, this defense needs an enforcer, and CJ is going to provide that and so much more. So all of Philly should be happy to have him back. And yes, I say that even with those comments that he made back in July about Philly fans saying that they're obnoxious, speaking of which, CJ did apologize to the Philly fans for saying that on Twitter, saying, quote, I do owe the fans of Philly an apology. Regardless, this is an amazing place and we had some memories together. Let's go get get us one. Fly, Eagles, fly. Now, to be honest, I've already been over what he said, but it was still nice to hear him apologize. And Eagles fans even admitted that there is some truth to what he said anyway. I mean, this Twitter user even said, quote, "But we are obnoxious. It's part of our charm. He's obnoxious. That's why we like him. Glad he's back." Man, again, I think this reunion was perfect, and both sides, being CJ and the fans, have seemed to quickly move past their differences, so that's definitely nice. And I mean, CJ even called out ESPN for posting about those comments he made back in July, saying, quote, "We're all happy. Why post this? SMH." So again, I couldn't agree more, and again, I'm just so happy that CJ is an Eagle again. I really just think bringing him back was the perfect move. But of course, we all know that this wasn't the only huge move the Eagles made in free agency, with the Saquon Barkley edition getting most of the attention through the first couple days. But one of the sad realizations that many Eagles fans have had with this edition is that we're never going to get to see Saquon running behind Jason Kelce. And speaking of which, Jason actually just gave his reaction to the Eagles signing Barkley, and it certainly seems like there's still at least a part of him that is itching to come back and play.
Saquon Barkley signing with Philadelphia. How about this? Huge signing for Philadelphia. And I'm happy for Saquon. I'm not trying to talk trash. You're coming to a team that has had a legitimate offensive line established for a very long time.
Yeah.
Coming to a coach who's been there for a long time, and they've had proven success with nearly every running back. So you know Saquon is entering a good situation in Philadelphia. Social media has been nonstop saying, "Jason, you sure you want to retire?" And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty positive, even though a little bit upset how we waited till I retired to make a move like this, but you know, it's fine. It'll work out great. We talked about it last week. This is what I'm regretting. I knew when I retired that I was going to miss just an outstanding season for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it sucks. It really does. I want to be a part of this so bad. I wish I could, but it doesn't suck in the way that I get to still, like, hey, I'm a Philadelphian. I get to watch it and celebrate it just like everybody else. So I'm excited for that.
Now, look, he said it. He's not coming back, so we don't have to entertain that idea. But at the same time, I mean, you can just tell that it's killing him that he had to retire, and he's not going to be playing next season. But again, we all know that that was the smart choice, and he did what he had to do. But now, getting back to Barkley, we also just got some more details on his contract, and it's pretty amazing. Because I and some other Eagles fans were maybe a bit concerned initially with the amount of money that the Eagles paid Saquon and how much cap space it may take up and things like that, but now I have to question myself, like, why in the world do I ever question Howie Roseman? Because the details that came out via Spot Track show that Saquon's cap hit for this upcoming season is just $3.9 million. Now, that number will end up reaching over $15 million in the 2026 season, but I'm going to learn my lesson. I'm not going to doubt Howie, and I'm sure it'll all work out just fine, but for now, I mean, $3.9 million, like only $3.9 million as the cap hit for this year, that's just amazing. Something else that is really cool and also kind of funny to see regarding this is that if you add up the 2024 cap hits of Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Saquon Barkley, the number is just $36.2 million, which is significantly less than Dak Prescott's cap hit of $59.4 million or Daniel Jones' $47 million. I mean, dude, Howie is just an absolute genius. And he also has got plenty more cap space to work with, so what else might he do with that money? Well, with the whole Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick situation going on and the Eagles potentially losing both of them, you might question whether the Eagles want to go out and sign another edge rusher or defensive end to fill that void. In addition to that, an area that they're confirmed to have strong interest in upgrading is the linebacker position, because that is now clearly the biggest need on this Eagles team after the first wave of free agency, and they just got to do something to address it. Now, unfortunately, most of the best options that we had talked about leading into free agency are gone. They've signed elsewhere, but the Birds are apparently still currently scouring the market and the remaining options to try and add one, with Josina Anderson reporting, quote, "Eagles are still in the market / on the hunt for a linebacker one way or another, per league sources." So that leaves a lot of people to speculate who the Eagles could potentially go after that's still left. And a lot of people have brought up the name Devin White, who, of course, at one point was a star for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense that helped them win a Super Bowl, but now fast forward to this point in his career, and White has regressed a lot. I mean, last year was his worst season in the NFL, recording just 83 tackles and 2.5 sacks, along with 2 interceptions to be fair, but his foot injury last year clearly hampered him throughout the entire year, and without his athleticism, White just looked a whole lot worse. From the eye test, he clearly just does not have the same explosiveness or ability that he once did, and that's not just completely due to the injury from last year. That started a couple years ago, and he's just gotten worse and worse and worse to the point where last year he had the worst year of his career, as he's kind of just regressed in all areas of his game. So I wouldn't really be too excited about adding him him at this point, and I just don't think that that would be the smartest thing for the Eagles to do. Jerome Baker is another name that is interesting. He definitely, I think, is a better option than Devin White. I mean, he's really pretty good against the run. He's not a liability in pass coverage either, and Baker also is a very experienced player and just played under Vic Fangio last year, so there's some familiarity there. And on top of that, Baker is also a leader and a captain, so he would bring that element to the Eagles defense as well, and that could really help Nakobe Dean or anybody the Eagles want to draft at the linebacker position. Now, the concerns with Baker are that he dealt with some injuries last year, but overall, I think I would like this move, because even though he's not a star, he is just a really solid player at the linebacker position, and the Eagles really need someone like that. Now, the thing is, he is meeting with the Titans on Thursday, so if the Eagles want to sign him, they're going to have to make a move quick. So you guys can let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Who should the Eagles target at linebacker? If you don't want to miss any videos, make sure you subscribe, and also, really importantly, turn on notifications so you're notified instantly when these videos are uploaded. Also, drop a like down below on this video to show some support, and leave a comment down below just regarding anything that I talked about in this video. And if you want to watch another video covering the second day of Eagles free agency, including the CJ Gardner-Johnson signing, you can check this out right here. Now, with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.